My name is Amir Garcia Tunis. Nicknames, I know when I was a kid I was called Janguito de Remy a lot. That translates to Remy's Monkey. It's from an old Japanese cartoon that my mother used to watch. I mean, my mother and father always called me that as a kid. As now, I don't think I have any nicknames. I never been called anything else. But family background, I have two sisters, one brother. I'm the youngest in my family. I was born in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. It's more south next to Janesville and Whitewater, I believe. My parents were both born in Mexico City. My mother refugeed here a very long time ago, but like I said, I was born here. For personal goals, what are they? My personal goals are working out and slowly getting better at playing instruments. Like I said, I like, as you can tell, I play a bunch of instruments. I got three electric guitars over there, piano. I have a lot of things and equipment, but that's just what I like to do. And working out, I like working out. Why are these goals important to you? Oh, they're important to me because I believe having a strong physical body also helps you have a strong mental health. It's important to stay healthy, especially with this career path that I'm going for. They're important to me because they bring me joy, and as of through high school I never really had much friends, and I've always had an interest in music since 8th grade. I'd got my first guitar, so other than that, it was just playing music, getting slowly progressively better, making covers, writing music. They're just important because they bring me joy. How do you plan to achieve them? I plan to achieve my goals by keeping a strict schedule, as in routines. For gym, it consists of two upper and two lower body movements. So, as an example, Monday I do upper body by hitting all the core muscle groups. The next day I do legs, hit every muscle group, maybe some cardio, but then a break between the 2 days, and I repeat that with different exercises. So, upper lower split, I guess. That's what I do. I plan to achieve them by keeping a strict schedule, strict mental health, and for instruments, whenever I get the time, I like slowly playing covers, writing. I get better by spending more time into it and slowly and progressively getting better. So, after how do you plan to achieve them? I already said that. Professional goals. What career path are you pursuing? As of now, I plan to pursue officer, like a law enforcement in that career. I'm open to options. I'd like to learn what other careers can come out of this 2 year associate's degree, or maybe major to a 4 year, depending on what there is. As of now, I got my mind on the law enforcement officer. Like I said, I'm open to anything. I want to learn my options. What motivates you to pursue this path? What motivates me is, as a child, or I guess first generation of a Hispanic family, I know that I've been treated a bit differently a bit throughout my elementary a bit and middle school. I know friends that has been treated differently. I went to Colby Middle School, and I know that a bunch of my friends were always forced to be put into like a ELA program for speech and writing. I know that my mother was trying to be forced to put me in those classes, even though that I knew English and I could write, probably just because the school would get more federal funding for programs to help children in need. But there's many stories that I know and different things that happened to me for being a Hispanic kid, especially with a bunch of friends. But I just always wanted it, like as a kid I always wanted to be a law enforcement officer because I always wanted to be the change to help out family in need for, I guess, any racial identity. But I always wanted to, as a kid, be someone that could help out with the Hispanic community and family, to help them with several things when they're in need. I just always want to make that difference and that change, to be a good person and to generally be a good person and help out people in need. So that's what motivates me to pursue this path, to be a difference, help out people. Because nowadays I always see things on social media on how most law enforcement officers are always rude, or how do you say it? They seem always. I see a bunch of videos of them being super stressed, acting disrespectful, always bending the laws, and it seems like they're always like tired and just annoyed of it. So yeah, I just want to make a difference and help out the community, be a good person. What steps will you take to reach these goals? My steps to reach these goals. Like I said, as in having a routine, I plan to continue going to school and get good grades, turn things on time, try to gain as much knowledge by listening as much as I can get out of these courses. Like I said, it's the same thing, I guess, as working out, doing your research, learning, gaining knowledge, putting in the time. So I think of it as the same way, just paying attention, listening, asking questions. I plan to take these steps to reach my goal. Hobby demonstrations. Surely brief demonstrate hobby or interests. So I'm gonna play electric guitar for you guys. There's a song called Domination by a band named Pantera. I'm specifically gonna play the solo part because I think it'd be too long to play anything else. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna play. I'll show you my hobbies, what software and programs I use to get specific tones, how I record, how I make covers. I'll just try to wrap that in another quick 2 minutes or 3. So yeah, thanks. That's everything. That's my introduction. Okay, so this is my computer. First of all, this is called Voicemeeter. This allows me to basically like the master to mess with my volume. This is my microphone right here, but this is to plug in a bunch of physical connections through my audio interface or digital. So I guess you can just think of it as the master brain for audio stuff, for messing with how loud I want things, what I want to mute. This is where I get all my connections in through my computer. And right here, this is called Amplitude 5. Tones, riffs, bass, anything. It's a digital software where you can mess with anything you want. There's a bunch of pedals, delay pedals, distortion, compressors, noise gates, whatever you want to create whatever I want. Here are cabinets. There are a bunch of cabinets. Instead of physically buying things, I do have some pedals, but physically buying everything, I can mess with whatever I want. There's the cabinets, there's the heads. It's just for creating whatever I desire. So from here, this is more things you can get into. As in cabinets, I can also move where I want the actual sound. So if I'm playing an instrument, I could move wherever I actually want the microphone to be. I can mess with whatever microphone I want. Just guess a bunch of computer nerd stuff, I guess you could say, to wrap it up. This is Tonenet. Basically, if you find a song you like or any type of tone, you look up whatever you want. I guess for an example, you can just put Metallica. I mean, I don't really listen to them much, but here, Metallica. And then there's a bunch of tones that people create online to click them, and then you have them, you can download them, but you just have them in person. This is what they use. This is a cabinet they use. There's some pedals here to turn on 7-band graph. You can add things into it. So yeah, here are my specific files, bunch of things I have saved, my specific tones that I have for some bands that I listen to. But this is how I get my tones for creating guitar covers. And here you can actually record, mess with whatever I want for actual recording. And as of playing along, I use something called Songster. I guess you can get it on your phone or anything. If anybody is ever interested in learning instruments, guitars, I'd recommend Songster. It's the best. You just look, as long as if you gotta learn tabs, but you just look up whatever you want. It shows you what it is, how to play it, how many instruments there are, whatever you want. But yeah, so that's mainly everything I use here. Over here, there are more software and programs I use for creating digital music, more editing apps. So other than that, yeah, those are mainly the main things I use. Another one called FL Studio that was just there for creating more beats. But yeah, I'm going to play the actual solo now, so I hope you guys enjoy. So there's that. Hope you enjoyed, and for whoever's watching, what's your favorite piece of music? Whether it's band or an artist, just let me know what's your favorite song, band, and any genre. Just elaborate on that. See ya. Peace.